Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Toronto Bart, and I'm back in the building. Listen, some people are calling me Bart Stradamus because I'm out here predicting the future. If you've been paying attention to my rapidly growing YouTube channel, I've been telling you guys for a long time, one, Coach GoodGameBro doesn't subscribe to me. That's why he's trash. And two, he's a terrible coach and he won't make the playoffs. And a little birdie told me that you're gonna be disappointed because I heard that even though he somehow got a win, woo, no one cares, it's the Cowboys, they're trash. America's team, come on, brother. But even though he got the win, I'm hearing maybe he didn't make it. And not that I would do or say anything bad about my Toronto Mounties now that I've relocated and I'm now a Canadian citizen. Don't ask about the test, I passed it legally. But still, as much as I love the Mounties, I hate Coach GoodGameBro. But I'm hearing the results are gonna come in, Coach GoodGameBro's gonna announce them, so fingers crossed that he fails. Even though I love my Mounties, just fire him and promote me to be the head coach. I'm out of here.
This season has been an unbelievably crazy one for the Mounties. And you know what? I'm happy with how we did. We finished up the last week of the regular season with a massive win against the Dallas Cowboys, a game that I didn't think was going the right way, but we turned it around and we got the job done. The best part of that is that we did, for the most part, what we could to make sure that our team had the best possible chance to get into the postseason. But I've heard there's a little curly-haired guy that wears glasses that's been talking a little bit of trash, and unfortunately, I'm here to confirm that we did not make the postseason. Now, even though we won, the Titans are still going to obviously win our division. The Jags end up being in there as well. So you're going to see the Bills versus the Titans, the Jags versus the Bengals, the Chiefs versus the Steelers, and the Browns have a first-round bye. And then on the NFC, it's going to be New Orleans versus the 49ers, the Cardinals versus the Washington football team, and then the Bears versus the Packers, with the Dallas Cowboys having a first-round bye. We blew them out of the water, but it doesn't matter. Am I disappointed we didn't make it to the postseason? Yes, look, we are still early in our franchise, and I honestly feel good about the direction we're going. It's just, we kind of had a really bad middle of the season, and that hurt us at the end. Now the Pro Bowl roster comes out. You can see there's a lot of people. Josh Rosen made the... I think I'm going to vomit. Oh, okay, now that I'm over that, Josh Rosen made the NFC Pro Bowl. What the? Over Dak Prescott. We're just going to get past that. I'm looking, we got Kasim Gooden, ends up being halfback number 3, which I think is really good for a rookie coming in. I think he dominated this year, did incredibly well. He just didn't have as many touchdowns as we probably ultimately wanted for him. Scrolling down through again, no love really on a wide receiver core. Not really seeing any love really across the board. I mean, look, we had some guys that are going to make the Pro Bowl roster, which I'm super happy about, but I feel like a lot of our guys on our team are just, wait, is Spiegel not in here as well? Hold on. He didn't. Josh Spiegel didn't make it. You know what? You know what? Okay. I'm gonna look past it. I don't care about the Pro Bowl roster. Now the season officially wraps and we see the Green Bay Packers take out the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which is incredible. So we see defensive tackle Kenny Clark was the MVP. You don't really see a defensive tackle be the MVP very often, so that's all to him. Your MVP of the season is Tom Brady. Coach of the year is somehow Urban Meyer. Offensive player of the year is Tom Brady, who's still alive at this point. Defensive player of the year goes to Aaron Donald. Rookie of the year on the offense goes to Kasim Gooden, and rookie of the year on defense goes to Josh Spiegel. So he didn't make the Pro Bowl, but at least Spiegel ends up taking defensive rookie of the year. He deserved it, and then some, in my opinion. Now, Mock Draft 3 has officially come out. They have us as the number 2 overall pick, which is great, in my opinion. Shaquille Mayo they have going there, number 2, a left tackle, which, let's be honest, we could definitely take. They have right tackle Greg Creighton going there. Shaquille Mayo again falling to us. Almonte, Jaylareese is a dude that also was in consideration, in my opinion, for what we could potentially do. As you keep scrolling through and you ultimately see we have our second pick in the first round, left end Larry Cannon. So they essentially have us going after. There's a lot of really good players here. Middle linebacker Dickerson, I think could be a great pick. You can see on defense we have a C+ middle linebacker, so maybe it's a spot we go towards. I think defense and the offensive line are 2 places we ultimately want to key on, but there's a primetime player that we see available at some point. You can better believe we're going to try to make a play for him. If you look through the retirements in 2022, we see Dwayne Harris, James Ferenc, Alec Mack, Trent Williams, Nick Folk. Gronk finally retires. He's with the Washington football team at this point. Kelechi Osemele, Julio Jones retires. So there are some big. Russell, we lost our left tackle, which is part of the reason why we have to go ahead and draft maybe a left tackle in this draft. Devin McCourty, Tom Brady, 23 years later, thank God. Robbie Gould. So some big name players ultimately retired, but as we get down here to the bottom, Fitzmagic and some other guys. Okay, these guys are sort of I guess they're retiring. So okay, some of the names aren't really that important to us anymore at that point. We have 2 contracts that we sort of are in the middle of. Do we sign them or do we not? I think for Deidre Sanat, he's 29, not really that great. We don't need him. Raymond Calais, who came in as a backup for us this year, pretty solid, but a 4-year deal of 7.8 million. I can just go get somebody in the draft or a younger player and we'll be perfectly fine. So we'll decline that one as well. And the other guys we didn't bring back: Terrence Mitchell, a corner; Marcus Cannon, a right tackle, 35, 67 overall. We have no reason to bring him back. Justin School, a left tackle, and then Tavir Thomas, no reason to bring him back either. So all these guys are expendable in my opinion. Now we get something major coming in. The combine results are officially here. So you can see Greg Creighton, Eric Almonte. Almonte's been pegged as one of the top quarterbacks, but like, I don't know if I'm fully on board with this guy at this point. Not very fast, and wouldn't really fit our system. A lot of his stuff doesn't really come out as great, so I don't know if this guy's really the guy. Now Shaquille Mayo is flying up the draft boards. We obviously do have him pegged with a little heart, you can see right by his name. They have him listed as sort of just, again, round 1 to 2 projections, so we don't really have to take him in that top 2 spot. Motor's always running hot, almost never penalized. His physicals turn out, I think, great, elite, solid, elite, and solid. His skills come out with A for run block finesse, B for stamina, A for pass block, and A for pass block finesse. Again, these are, grades and ratings off of this particular draft class, not how he would be overall in terms of Madden. So look, this dude I want to take, but I don't know if we want to take him at number 2. I look at this kid, Jaylareese, though, and I'm intrigued. 6'4", 180, 21 years old, out of Clemson, always looking to intercept the pass. Motor's running hot, off lips to rip the ball from runners, almost never penalized. He's got a pretty solid 40-yard dash at 4.51. He's got a lead for change of direction and jumping. He's in the top 10 for everything except for speed and for the 3-cone drill. So I am a little worried about some of that. His stamina, zone coverage, and press are all a B. We don't know what his man coverage would be, but there's potential for this guy. Pro day results come in as well. And again, I'm not trying to really tip my hat, but this Jaylareese kid, I think there might be something there. Whenever the Ravens are looking at a corner, I feel like there's something there. A lot of their corners, they've had some that haven't worked out, like Jimmy Smith, but a lot of those corners they get are usually really good. Now, this is a big opportunity here. We have the opportunity to choose 3 players for a private workout. This could be a smoke screen, or this could really be something that tips our hat and where we're going in the draft, but I have a decent idea of who I want to choose and why. So we're going with 3 players, and I'm focused on 3 players in the first round because I want to make sure we get at least 2 of these guys here. So Shaquille Mayo, who we've looked at a couple of times here. As we go up a little bit more, you're going to see that, well, you're not going to be surprised. Amani Hardwick, a right tackle, who I think could play left tackle also out of this draft, we want to look at. And the other one being Jaylareese, who I think we could take at that number 2 pick. He's super talented. We need corner help. I think he could be that guy. Now, free agency is done, and this is, I think, the strongest free agency we've had ever in our young franchise. So we got Matthew Ioannidis. I'm going to butcher his name for a little bit. We ended up getting a major defensive tackle, 29 years of age. We got him for a number of years here, and we got him at 87 overall. That's fantastic. JC Treader, Lord knows we need help on the offensive line. We got an 84 overall center. Jordan Poyer, because Lonnie Johnson Jr. is going to be up out here. I'm tired of him blowing coverage and missing tackles. Max Crosby, we need help on the defensive line. Well, look at that. We got this guy at 26 years of age. We locked him up for 3 years. That's a W in my book. Justice Hill, we need to back up running back for Kasim Gooden because we let a lot of our younger guys go. And then Eric Fisher is our safety net, kind of at left tackle. If for some reason we don't have a guy, he's on a 1-year deal and he can just sort of be there, I guess. Across the league, a lot of big movement. Tyreek Hill was the number 1 guy. Look, I wanted to make a move at Tyreek because having DK on one side and Tyreek on the other, we could have traded Brandon Cooks. That would have been huge. But it would have taken $102 million, and I don't want to invest that kind of capital in a 29-year-old receiver. It's scary, didn't want to do it. Kareem Hunt goes to the Patriots. We see Darius Smith go to the Bengals. Montez Sweat to the Raiders. Levante David goes to the Chargers. Bobby Wagner to the Rams. Slayton to the Bucks. The Bucks are trying to make big money. I don't know if they got all their guys, though. Marcus Davenport, another guy we wanted, but at 45 mil. There were some cheaper options for us, and I think Amenhu was really good, and we have him for 3 more years, so why not? Kyle Fuller goes to the Patriots. Kenyon Drake to the 49ers. Patrick Ricard, who I wanted, he chose the Steelers instead of us, which hurts. We need a fullback. We still don't have one. Marquise Brown to the Raiders. Jamel Dean goes to the 49ers. And again, you can see there's a lot of big movement. Some major players moved around, and we got a couple of them, which is good. So here's what mock draft 5, the final one, looks like. Greg Creighton, they have him going number 1 of the Eagles, who again, they just had a major splash to Tyreek Hill. Now they get a guy at right tackle to really help their quarterback out. Shaquille Mayo they have going to us. Almonte going to the Lions. Jaylareese going at 4 to the Seahawks. You keep moving down, you see where obviously our second pick is going to be in the draft. Larry Cannon they have going to us. They sort of pegged him there, but they have him as around 3 to 4 projection. We take him at 18, so that's not going to happen. All right, so the NFL draft is officially here. We have the Philadelphia Eagles on the board with the #1 pick in the draft. Who are they going to take? Well, let's just sit ahead and find out. So the Eagles, as most assumed, took Greg Creighton, the right tackle out of Washington. And look, I get it. The #1 consensus overall pick, I get it. But here at #2, we got some decisions. I've looked at a lot of players, and I just feel like Jaylareese is the guy we have to go with. A tall corner with pretty good speed, who's got really good change of direction. He's got A catching, B coverage, B stamina, B press. We don't know what his man coverage ultimately is, but I just feel like this is the guy. So we're going to take a gamble on a 6'4" corner out of Clemson and pray to God that he's good. We got a hidden depth trait, 92 acceleration, 85 agility. We don't know some of this stuff. Okay, 91 speed, 94 jumping, 96 change of direction. Strength we don't care about. He's a corner. We got it. Look, I know we need an offensive line help. I know we need that. But you can't pass up on a corner that has this kind of skill set. Now, one thing that does make me sad is Earl Dickerson, the middle linebacker in Alabama, who we don't necessarily need because we have Keanu Neal still. We have Cam Camp, obviously, who's our middle linebacker of the future. But Dickerson went 1 pick ahead of us, so that sucks. But as you look at who's available, Adrian Brinkley, a running back, who we obviously don't need, but he flew up the draft boards a little bit. Edward Fisher is still there, who I think we know a little bit about at this point. Motor's running hot. The Bears looking at him. We're looking at him. Seattle's looking at him. We're seeing sort of what his pro day stats were versus what he actually did. He did pretty well in the strength part of that. We see his skill set ultimately, but there's a guy that we've been looking at who still is going to be available here, and that is going to be Shaquille Mayo. Mayo, 6'7", 318, a massive human being. His stuff ended up being pretty good. He only had one thing in solid. Everything else is really good. His pro day, everything was top 5 except for his bench press, which is 17th, but it was better than what he had in his NFL combine. If you look at his skill set, I mean, A's across the board for this draft class. And then he has B for stamina. This to me is the guy. Shaquille Mayo, welcome up to Toronto. And this is another hidden depth trait, so we're in a good spot. 83 acceleration, 78 agility, change of direction is not good, jumping's whatever, 76 speed, 86 strength. Look, strength, sure, could have been higher, but this feels like a W again at a position that we absolutely needed. So we got our corner, we got our left tackle. Now we can, probably go more offensive and defensive line, but still, we're in a good spot. Draft is officially done, and I feel pretty good about it. You saw obviously our top 2 picks, but I want to share a little bit more of what we ultimately got. Now, some of this is surprises and news to me, so just be prepared. So, Jaylareese is at 79 overall, absolute W. I feel like we nailed that top 2 pick. Shaquille Mayo comes in at a 77 again. That's a day 1 starter for us at left tackle. Eric Fisher would just be insurance policy in case we need him. We get Jalen Noel in the 2nd round at 67 overall, strong safety, so maybe we missed a little bit. We didn't have another pick until round 6, so we get a 64 overall left tackle in Jared Landman, who could be a replacement, a fill-in for a different side of the line if we need to. We get DeShaun Williams, a left outside linebacker, a 60 overall, and then our last pick in the 7th round is going to be Jamie Fontaine, 55. Look, if you ask me, top 4 picks a W. 5th pick is still kind of a W in the 7th round. The last pick was a giant L. To do a quick run through of sort of who some of the top picks were, Greg Creighton was that guy. He was an 81 overall, which is a W for the Eagles, who get a great right tackle probably the next 10 to 15 years. Jaylareese again, we get a 79. Eric Almonte, the quarterback, goes to be a 75. Dontrell Stoudemire, one of the best players in the draft, 84 overall running back. You see Dave Monroe, a right end, at 76 of the Raiders. Sidney Jamison, an 81 overall receiver. The Colts messed up with a 69 overall, looks like quarterback at this point. We sort of moved through Amani Hardwick, a guy that we obviously wanted, 78 overall. Tyler Wooten, a right outside linebacker, would have been great. We could have moved him around a little bit, 83 overall. You want to see the highest rated player in the draft? We had the lowest rated player in the draft, surprise. The highest rated player in the draft, Dontrell Moore. And Wooten, Tracy Cloud, who ended up going in the 2nd round, ends up being an 83 overall. It's a W there. Nate Owens, 81. JT Charleston, a halfback, goes to be an 80. Adrian Brinkley, who I actually think we saw on the board in the 1st round. Yeah, he goes to be an 80, so that would have been a W. Again, Reese is one of the highest rated players. Christopher Manning, a tight end. There was a lot of really good players. If you honestly look through, though, I'm not really seeing a lot of quarterbacks for this draft. It's sort of the top end. The top rated quarterback was Vern McKinley, who goes to the Saints. That's going to be a W for them. They need a quarterback at this point. You don't see another quarterback until Eric Almonte, who's a 75 at the 3rd pick overall. And then really after that, just was not a quarterback heavy draft. You know what? That's okay because there's a lot of good young quarterbacks in the league, but there were not a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. It is an absolutely massive offseason, and I want to take a closer look at our line really quick. Shaquille Mayo at left tackle, your Titus Howard at left guard, JC Treader at center, Alex Kappa at right guard, Eric Fisher's playing right tackle. Again, right tackle and left guard are really our weakest spots in the line, but we've got a lot of these guys for long-term deals, and we're not too bad there. We're better than last season. Tight end is still going to be Robert Tonyan and then Brevin Jordan. We're also going to see a quarterback still, Jordan Love. We have Hamilton Jones here. We have to figure out what's going on there. Kasim Gooden starting at running back. DK Metcalf's the number 1 receiver. Number 2 receiver, obviously, is going to be Brandon Cooks. So number 3, Anthony Miller. I don't think Brandon Cooks is here after this season. We'll probably look at getting a receiver in the draft, but again, we have some time on that one. No rush. Defense should still be pretty fun. We have Justin Reed, a free safety, Zach Cunningham, a right outside linebacker who has a massive contract, and I definitely want to find a way to get rid of him, but we just didn't really find a right outside linebacker that fit the mold. Cam Camp, our starting middle linebacker, along with Keanu Neal, Josh Spiegel, reigning rookie of the year at left outside linebacker, Jordan Poyer again as our strong safety, and then we have Desmond King as our corner 1, JC Jackson as our corner 2, corner 3, Bradley Roby, who we brought back after that incredible performance, with Jaylareese being corner 4 at the moment. We'll see what he does in preseason, but I imagine he's probably going to take over what Bradley Roby's role is, and we'll just figure that out as time comes. Our defensive line, though, is much better than last year. Jordan Jenkins is the weakest link there, but we have Matt Ioannidis with Ross Blacklock, who played well last year, the second defensive tackle, and then Max Crosby, the left end. We should get a whole lot more pressure with the guys that we have on defense. This should be a much better team defensively. Offensively, the jury is still out on the offensive line. Overall, if you look at our team, we're an 81 offense, 83 defense, and 81 overall. I feel like we have gotten significantly better than last season, but again, we don't want to be paper champions. We want to make the playoffs and see if we can become NFL champions. In the next episode, we'll just see exactly how good we are or aren't. It's going to be tough, and the way last season ended was on a high, but also a low at the same time. I want this season to end with confetti, and I want us to be celebrating that confetti, not sad in it. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.